There's many fried chicken all around the world, but I'm gonna take my two favorite, put them head to head, and see if there's truly the best version. So anytime we make anything, you know I care about getting the most out of everything we cook, right? But what about getting the most out of every dollar we spend? That's where today's sponsor, Capital One Shopping, comes in. If you think you're overpaying for anything online, Capital One Shopping can change that for free. And no, you don't have to worry about being a Capital One card holder. So add Capital One Shopping to your browser, and it instantly searches for coupons that actually work. Automatically applies them to your cart all across the internet, and you'll earn Capital One Shopping rewards, which you can redeem for gift cards. And before you ask, yes, you can compare prices on Amazon, all across other popular retailers, because Capital One Shopping will search for the best price while you're actually shopping. See, it's like two good things at once. It's efficiency. So go to the link in the description and get Capital One Shopping completely for free and avoid paying full price. So again, thank you to Capital One for sponsoring today's video. Now, on to le poulet. Right, so this is Korean fried chicken versus American fried chicken. It almost seems like there's a fried chicken for just about every single place in the world. You got Japanese fried chicken, Korean fried chicken, American fried chicken, and then there's different kinds of fried chicken depending on where you go in America. I could go on and on about it. What is the ideal fried chicken? Is there a better eating experience, a better flavor, crunch? So as these two go head to head, we'll give you the answer. That being said, let's make this, shall we?
We got two avenues here, so we're gonna explore both at the same time. One of these chickens are marinated and one of them is sort of dry cured, but either way, we'll get them wet to coat nicely in their dredge. Let's begin with our Korean fried chicken, also called yangnyeom chicken. How's my pronunciation? Can't wait to be eviscerated in the comments. Anyway, very simple. Start with 2 pounds or 900 grams of chicken pieces. You can go with wings, drumsticks, thighs, or a nice mix. To that, you'll add 1 tablespoon or 17 grams of grated ginger, 1 teaspoon or half a gram of fine ground black pepper, generous salt to taste, and just toss that bad boy together and let it sit for at least 5 minutes at room temp or covered in the fridge overnight. So this is essentially curing in a way. Now for the buttermilk fried chicken, you're gonna want the same exact amount of chicken added to a buttermilk marinade consisting of 2 cups or 475 milliliters of buttermilk, 1.5 teaspoons or 8 grams of optional MSG. Sorry to break your heart, but it's completely fine to eat. 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon or 9 grams of ground white pepper, 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon or 9 grams of smoked paprika, whisked together till combined and homogeneous. Add the same amount of chicken of choice, make sure it's completely submerged, let it sit at room temp for 5 minutes or in the fridge covered overnight. Now, here's our two chickens side by side, already looking completely different but equally beautiful. Now let's take a look at the two different kinds of dredge. For the Korean fried chicken, it's simply 1 cup or 165 grams of cornstarch and a 1/4 teaspoon or half a gram of baking soda. Whisk it together and that's it. Now for the southern style, there's a lot more ingredients. It'll be 2.5 cups or 375 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons or 2 grams of dried thyme, 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of onion powder, 2 teaspoons or 5 grams of celery powder, which phonetically sounds terrible, 2 tablespoons or 18 grams of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of MSG, and 2 tablespoons or 23 grams of kosher salt. Give that a whisk, and that is your dredge. I know, wow, oh, this other one has way too many ingredients. Look, that's the point. It's got a spice kick right in your goddamn draws. Now, the Korean one seems light on flavor so far, or so you'd think. You see, the flavor for the Korean fried chicken will be added after cooking with a sauce consisting of 1/2 cup or 160 grams of gochujang, 6 tablespoons or 104 grams of ketchup, 1/4 cup or 50 grams of soy sauce, 5 tablespoons or 160 grams of brown rice vinegar, 1/4 cup or 60 grams of mirin, 6 tablespoons or 46 grams of palm sugar, or light brown sugar if you don't want to be a true culinarian. Add it to a pot, whisk till homogeneous, and heat it over medium heat just until it begins to simmer. Then let that brother reduce for only 1 minute. Immediately cut off the heat and mix in 8 cloves of finely chopped garlic. Yes, 8 cloves. All the quirky quotes of, oh, 2 cloves of garlic isn't enough. Is this enough for you, Karen? Because now you gotta commit to the bit. Jokes aside, please do not cut back on this garlic ratio. It's what makes it extra special. Okay, the time to fry has come. The frying process here are completely different, so pay close attention. For the Korean fried chicken, gently toss in the cornstarch mix and aggressively press the dredge into every nook and cranny till the wet spots are dry. Shake off the excess and place into fry oil that's been preheated to 325 Fahrenheit, and you'll probably want to do this in 2 to 3 batches, by the way. Let that bad boy fry for about 5 minutes or till cooked through and light golden. Immediately remove and drain on a wire rack. Fry the rest, and this is the secret here. Increase your oil temperature to 375 Fahrenheit and place your chicken back into the fryer for 1 to 2 minutes or until a beautiful golden brown ultra wispy, wafer thin, crisp exterior emerges. You know, obviously the chicken should have been cooked through prior. This is just a crispifying process. Now pop that into a bowl, toss it with as much or as little sauce as you want, and make sure that that coats every square, microscopic inch of this chicken. Leaving these Korean-style wings bald will unlock a satanic portal into culinary doom from which you will have to crawl with your bare hands and nails out of. So please, sauce them as directed. Now, the Southern American-style chicken is a little simpler. Add a tablespoon or two of your marinade to the seasoned dredge and toss together. This is the technique that will get you those nice thin flaky bits on the fry.
You know what I'm talking about.
Remove from your marinade, toss in your seasoned dredge, and again, press that dredge aggressively into the chicken so it's completely coated. Then in 2 to 3 batches, gently lay that chicken into a pot filled with at least 2 to 3 inches of fry oil that's been preheated to about 350 Fahrenheit and fry for 5 to 7 minutes or until you have a deep golden brown, flaky, crispy buttermilk fried chicken that of course has an internal temperature of 165 Fahrenheit. Probably should mention that the same rule of 165 internal temp applies to the legs as well, pal, lest you want medium rare chicken. Now place that on a wire rack to drain and simply repeat that frying process with all of your chicken. Now, it is the moment of truth. Just looking at these two, you can see how extremely different the breading is. And even then, they both look like exotic stones retrieved from 2 opposite corners of the world with their own secret story. And yes, the Korean style one may be sauced, and the Southern one is not. Is that going to make a difference? My gut, in a weird way, says no. But I think an even better judge of that would be my tongue. Time for a taste test. Wow, we have 2 pieces of chicken. Let's get a smell test. So this one smells nostalgic to me because this is what my mom would make. This one spanks you a little bit. There's a little bit of spice to it. You get that first whiff and it's just kind of like, what the f happened? So, got this beautiful breading and we're gonna do a sound test on that first. It's one of them things, you just gotta pop this, just give it a good old, oh! I was gonna jump and throw my ass in the air. Texturally, the crunch, the juiciness of the skin. The salt levels are perfect. Jumping over to this, I suspect we're not gonna have as much of a crunch. Oh, wow. This is a hard choice. I'm not sure if there's one that's better than the other in this. I normally lean towards Asian food in general. So do I go nostalgia or do I go current favorite? Oh! This one, it's sweet, it's sour, it's acidic, and it's got that peppery background note. If I were to pick a favorite right now, I don't think that I can. So I need someone to step in and be a determiner here.
Yeah! The breading is just nostalgic. Always surprises you a little bit. That's so good. It's a tough call because like if I went to a restaurant, hadn't had drumsticks in a while, wanted something different, I would go for the gochujang ones. But trying both, I would just want both bowls. Make both and find out yourself.
Thank you, Vikram, for nothing.
Yeah.
What I've learned is that it comes down to what you desire in that moment. These are completely different. There isn't one that's better than the other. I feel like I could eat 40 of these, but I feel like I could only eat 2 of these. Both styles of chicken, beautifully done. Guess you're just gonna have to make it to find out. Why the f does that keep happening? You wanna know what else has big, juicy legs carved into my mind? B-roll.
Guys, and that is it. So we made our chicken, but first we have to give a massive thank you to our sponsor, Capital One Shopping. Thank you. It's an incredibly easy way to save money when you shop online, and it's free. So remember to add the free Capital One Shopping extension to your browser, and it will instantly search and find all the discounts you're looking for while you're shopping, apply them to your cart, bing, bang, boom. You got a goddamn deal, brother. Go to the description, get it on your browser, and avoid having to pay full price every single time. So we have our Korean fried chicken versus American fried chicken, both beautifully done, delicious. Aside from it obviously tasting different, visually, they are polar opposites. One of them is a thick, beautiful, rich, buttermilk, flaky crust, and then the other one's sort of like this thin, wispy, wafer-like, crispity crunch. It not only affects the texture, it affects the flavor, the way you eat it, and it also affects how it satiates you, which is a big part of eating. I feel like my palate sort of leans towards the Korean fried chicken, but at the end of the day, there is no winner here. They're all equally delicious. It just is how you prefer to have it in that moment in time, when you want fried chicken, when the hunger strikes. So you make your goddamn decision, but I hope this was somewhat helpful. That being said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.